everybody, it's Matt with Temple Painting Studios. Good to see everybody tonight. And sort of a different thing I'm doing tonight. So my last tournaments, had a lot of fun at the Indie Cloud, as we called it. Absolute blast. Went really well for me, which will probably never happen again, but hey, why not? So what I realized though is as I was looking, luckily, there wasn't really like a paint score or anything like that. And when I say luckily, I usually get really good paint scores and all that, but I have been playing this Abyssal Army for 3 years, and if I can be honest with you, it shows. It shows. It's beat up. It's missing things. So what I'm going to be working on a little bit today and in this video, assuming my kids don't wake up and come charging in, which will probably happen because that's what happens. Working on some models and just some touch-up and I guess sort of a how to, after a tournament, what you should do type thing. I don't think anybody's ever done a video on that I know of, so figured, hey, why not? I'll be the first. So there's 3 models I want to show off. I've got the Abyssal Warlocks, and I did a little bit with him earlier. Oops, need him in camera. So he had a major problem. These horns are custom fit onto him. If you take a look at that guy, you see those little horns? He's got the big old horns. There we go. Now it's in focus. So you can see the different horns. Very simple reason for this. Mike Carter gives you extra points. You get extra, an extra box on your rubric if you, do some conversions. So little things here and there, not much. Like, as you can see, all 3 of these guys are slightly different. He's got a fireball. He's got the traditional Mantic, point at whatever I'm going to cast a lightning. And then this guy's got a green flame torch. So, put another horn on. Again, I actually had a video, but it didn't come out well with a child crawling on me. Anyway, but I noticed as I was doing that, I've got a problem on these 2, major problem. If you take a look at them, pretty cool models, pretty cool. You notice, though, they're both missing a wing. Yeah, that's a problem. It doesn't look right. And to really complicate things, I have no idea where those wings went. They're not in the box. So it happened somewhere else, and I didn't know about it. So I got to figure something out, because it doesn't look right if I leave it, because there's these holes there, and that looks bad. So what do you do? So what I've done, or I'm hoping to do, I've got these wings. I picked them up from somewhere. I have no idea. But cool, demon wings. I can use those. Originally, it's going to be on a goblin for Granny Snark, but we'll get to that later. But what I'm planning to do tonight, got a couple pairs of these, and we're going to see if we can kit bash these onto those so that it looks right. So we'll get started with that here in just a second, and yeah, we'll see if this works, hopefully. All right, so what I'm going to attempt to do to start out, these wings are on very nicely. I don't know what it is. Kind of wondering if there's an issue with the model, very possibly, since it's the exact same wing on both. So I'm kind of wondering, maybe it didn't fit right. I don't know. So not sure. So what we're going to do, we're going to take these wings, and we're going to use a highly scientific method to cut these wings in half. Because what I want to do, honestly, I don't want to pull both wings off. That could make it worse. But, these are the Abyss. They're kind of weird looking anyway. So, hey, one wing's bigger than the other, right? Why not? So, once again, highly scientific method. Let's cut these in half. All right, that was difficult. So went ahead, cut that in half, cut another one in half earlier, and now I've got 2 half wings. Of course, before I did any of this, very important here, everybody, I went into the other room with some nice degreasing dish soap, scrub these things down, because if you don't, it won't work. It won't hold paint. All right. Next thing. For this kind of application, I like this stuff. I like the gel. Most of my models, I don't mind, like the little cheaper. This stuff's fine. I mean, for most applications, this stuff's fine. And quite frankly, if I used to use Gorilla Glue, but it gets stopped up so bad, and they're like, oh, I get to toss half the bottle. What's the point? So I can get like a bunch of these for cheap. But for an application like this, I very much prefer the Loctite. It just works a little better, I think, and I think it holds better. The gel, I think, goes around a little better and holds, since I'm attempting to put metal onto resin. And then, of course, if you don't have this stuff, I feel sorry for you, son. I've got 99 problems, but the super glue taking too long to set ain't one. All right, you need to make sure, yes, please, Insta-Set. Buy some. If you don't have it, go buy it. And you use super glue, buy it. Trust me. Just trust me. All right. Let's see if we can get this to go. All right, nice little dab there. All right. That was a good attempt. Gotta do this the old-fashioned way. Quick spray. And we hold. Maybe I do want to take that other wing off. That actually looks pretty cool. Definitely looks off, though. Which, again, these are abyssals. That's not necessarily a bad thing. So, all right. So, I like to do something else now. It's probably not the best thing, but this is what I like to do. Okay. Clean the tip because it'll go over. Make sure you don't have it on your fingers. All right. That's a pretty decent little Loctite. And again, that's one of the reasons I like the gel, is it actually gels and like hardens like over it on something like this. So a little smoother. Once I get that painted, I don't think you'll really notice that it's there. Unless you've watched this video, and then all of you will be going, oh, I see it. Yeah, great, okay. All right, so once again, Loctite here. Spray a little right there, and there we go. Again, kind of fill in that little tiny gap that's sort of there. Clean the top. Okay, Oh, I missed a piece of flash, which is terrible on a model like this. Because it's going to look wrong. Alright, man. You know what? Hang on. Ah, haha. I got the other one off. Yeah, I want to, if I'm going to do these, I'm going to do both. It just doesn't look right. That one did not come off clean. Darn it. Oh well. Oh well. So we'll get it taken care of. We can just again, highly scientific method here. All right. A little bit of dusting. Hang on. It's resin. One of the best things about hobbying right now is these are really easy to get a hold of, unfortunately. So, great for hobby, terrible for everything else, but at least we have things to cover ourselves now, whereas it used to be more of a challenge to get it. So, all right. Okay, so, you know what? Let's get the other wings on. And tell you what, I'll come back for this. All right, so good news. We got the wings on, and again, that's actually pretty good looking. I kind of like that. Again, kind of like that. So again, we're going to, here in just a second, get our primer on. And I got a little tip for this, too, because you're probably going, man, how is he going to... How do you do that? Like, pretty nicely painted model. I mean, it got some little... By the way, if anybody wonder, see all this nice rust? And he's wearing white. So I made sure that there's, you know, all this beautiful white clothing. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be rusty and yucky, too. So wanted to make sure that that gets across. So for applications like this, when you're touching up things or having to add something, this right here, the Steinerez primer, oh my goodness, this stuff is awesome. I mean, if you're going to spray paint a whole, or if you're going to do a whole model, yeah, use a rattle can, use your airbrush. If it's something like this, though, you need this. This stuff, very good coverage. It's pretty easy. And my favorite, because, you know, you see people like squirt it all over. I just take the lid off. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, plenty. Alright, so I'm going to grab this paintbrush. Again, this is a primer, so I'm just trying to make sure I cover the whole thing. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to really have to experiment and figure out a better way to do the camera. I need something hanging from up. Because, quite frankly, this doesn't work well. Alright, but we'll... Okay, get the inside of the wings. Yep. Alright, and then later you can watch me attach the tail back. Man. So again, as I sort of mentioned at the very beginning, one of the problems with Kings of War and every miniatures game is the fact that you got to touch your models. So I do my very best to not actually touch the models, but to have something I can grab onto. On most of my units, a few of them I don't, or, you know, these are pretty good grabbing here if you need to. Yeah, but even then, it doesn't matter. It's gonna at some point. So, you know, nothing you can do. Something's going to break, something's going to chip, something's going to wear. There's nothing you can do about it except, you know, come back and work on, you know, adding a few touch-ups and fixes and things like that. So let's get back to this. Again, the problem is the parts I can see are the parts you can't see. And I'm about to be called out of here. So I'm going to finish priming here, and then we will stop. I will...
Daddy,
Hi.
I want...
Hang on. Where are you going?
I need to let that one down.
Okay. All right. So the Steinerez is on. And now for my favorite part of miniatures, watching paint dry. So we'll watch that for 20 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to stop, and I'll keep going with this video a little later. And we'll figure out how we're going to paint that bad boy. Thanks, everybody, and watch for part 2.